Thank you for introducing me, President Trong, and this is my second time visit Vietnam Atherosclerosis Society annual scientific sessions. And last year, I also invited to Nha Trang for giving my talk in a second FAST conference. So at the time, I was a chairman. Actually, I was a chairman of Korean Lipid and Atherosclerosis Society from 2023 to 2024. And last year, my talk title was Clinical Oriented Talk. That the talk title, I remember that the Korean lipid control guidelines. But this year, I attended this meeting personally, so I tried to provide any inspirations to young doctors. Probably almost audience here cardiologist, I think. Yes. So this year's FAST conference main theme is from basic research to clinical practice. So today I'm gonna to focus my talk on basic research. And mitochondria is very, very important cell organelles that may affect cardiovascular disease, including atherosclerosis. Unfortunately, I do not have atherosclerosis related data, and so today I focus the role of mitochondria in the cardiovascular disease. But I believe this lecture may provide some insight to the young doctors in Vietnam. I do not have any disclosures. This is introduction. Mitochondria occupy nearly 40% volume of cardiomyocytes and serve as the primary energy powerhouse for the heart, which have the highest metabolic demand among all organs. Beyond ATP production, mitochondria function as critical regulators of cardiac rhythm and contractile functions through their roles in calcium homeostasis, ROS production, and direct modulation of ion channel activities. Mitochondrial dysfunction represents common pathophysiological pathways underlying various cardiovascular disease, including heart failure and arrhythmias, making mitochondria-targeted therapies an emerging frontier in cardiovascular medicine. I'll focus briefly on the intricate relationships between mitochondrial function and cardiac rhythm regulation, with particular emphasis on how mitochondrial dysfunction contribute to the pathogenesis and progression of heart failure. And I'm an endocrinologist, but I have worked in the research field for last 20 years, that focusing on the substrate utilization in the myocardiums. That means that cardiac energy metabolisms, especially focusing on the mitochondria. And my lab has equipped many specialized experimental techniques. For example, and this is cardiac microsurgery, and such as pressure overload hypertrophy models that and dissect the chest of mouse and expose the ascending aorta and ligate that aorta, and you can observe cardiac hypertrophy and heart failure. And this is the very small echocardiograph probe that measure the mouse heart diastolic and systolic functions. And we also can isolate myocardial fibers, and you can make graph for mitochondrial respirations and ATP productions. And this equipment is for mouse EKG monitoring, and this is for mouse check for mouse heart blood pressure and heart rate. And specifically, we have Langendorf heart perfusion that you can see this video that this heart is beating here. It means the ex vivo beating systems that we flow the perfusion solutions to retrograde cannulate to aorta, and this heart spontaneous beat for more than 10 minutes. In addition, we also have mitochondria-oriented specific machines for mitochondrial respiration analysis and mitochondrial metabolomics analysis, and etc. And over the past 10 years, our laboratory had set up the isolation and the purification of pacemaker cells from mouse heart. And can you imagine that the mouse heart weigh 100 milligrams, very, very small, but sinoatrial load contains pacemaker cells, and that tissues weigh only 1 milligram, very, very small, and you cannot see the sinoatrial load by your naked eye, but we have isolated this area, these tissues, by using fluorescence-less tomatocurie tagging mouse, and you can see the very bright yellow signals here. These are SA node, and these are the pacemaker cells. These cells are isolated pacemaker cells, and pacemaker cells are specialized cardiomyocytes, and they are showing spontaneous beating in these video clips. So, as I mentioned before, cardiac pacemaker cells are very, very small fractions. So if we wanted to do RNA and protein analysis, we sacrifice more than 10 mice, and after that, we can secure the enough number of cells. And after pure isolation of cells, and we can do RNA sequencing and analyze the data by bioinformatics. And we also have specialized ex vivo imaging systems that these are SA node tissues of mouse, and the green colors are fibrotic tissues, and red colors is the bundle of pacemaker cells, and this is 3D imaging systems of SA node of mouse. What is the SA node and pacemaker cells? And these tissues lies between inferior vena cava and right atrium. So this is right atrial cells, and this is pacemaker cells. And pacemaker cells generate spontaneous beatings, and it means that it is a very specialized cardiomyocytes that have intrinsic beating ability. And so this is actually cardiomyocytes. So it also occupies more than 40% of mitochondria inside the cells. And last 5 years, we generated insulin receptor knockout mice in the pacemaker cells. We have looked their phenotypes, that this is knockout mice that you can see the sinus bradycardia in these insulin receptor knockout mice. So providing compelling evidence that insulin signaling is critical for maintaining physiological heart rate. Therefore, insulin signaling is very promising target for preventing sick sinus syndrome. So we isolate pacemaker cells from controls and insulin receptor knockout mice. We identified there are a bunch of mitochondrial dysfunctions in these animals. So we believe that insulin signaling defect manifest sinus bradycardia accompanying mitochondrial dysfunctions. So in diabetic patients, and to prevent the heart failure, so targeting mitochondria in the pacemaker cells may be potential therapeutic targets in the future. Now I move on to my topics to heart failure. Heart failure is common final pathways or heart disease such as arrhythmia and myocardial infarctions. It has been reported that dysfunctional pacemaker activities may be associated with bad outcome of heart failure, and not only heart failure with reduced ejection fraction, but heart failure with preserved ejection fractions. It has many evidences in preclinical researches and clinical researches that patients have sinus node dysfunctions, have increased mortalities and in the fate of heart failure. So this is the mitochondrial dynamics in HFpEF, that there are mitochondrial fragmentation and decreased ATP productions and decreased glucose uptake and suppressed fatty acid oxidations as well. And these are microscopic pictures. There are many mitochondrial morphological defects such as mitochondrial fragmentation and crystal destructions and swellings. And then we made well-known mouse models of HFpEF. We fed high fat for 15 weeks and include L-LAM. It means that nitric oxide inhibitors that induce hypertension. So this is very established model for making HFpEF in the mice. And then we measure, we take out the SA node and did RNA sequencing, that we found very fancy enzymes that is glutamate dehydrogenase is suppressed in this mouse SA node. What is GDH? GDH is glutamate dehydrogenase that acts substrate, increased substrate utilization from glutarate to alpha-ketoglutarate. Alpha-ketoglutarate is very important metabolite in the TCA cycle for making ATP. So GDH activator can supply the glutamate to TCA cycles and power up the TCA cycle for production of ATP. And this is BCH is well-known GDH activators. So we treated GDH activators to the HFpEF mouse models. You can see this echo data. GDH activation reversed diastolic dysfunctions in the mouse models. And I make the long story brief. And so this is mitochondrial morphologies. And HFpEF mouse assay node shows very small mitochondria, but supplementation of BCH restore the mitochondrial morphologies. And one more, that transcriptional changes also implies that mitochondrial functions restores. And this is another story that in the half-lab models, BCH treatment increased ejection fractions in the half-lab mouse models. So this is take-home messages. Mitochondria are not only the powerhouse of cardiomyocytes, but mitochondrial dysfunction in the SA node contribute to bradycardia and arrhythmias and tightly linked to the progression of heart failure. So, and our laboratory is focusing on the GDH activations, and I will show the evidence that GDH activation may restore the mitochondrial functions in the SA node and improve the outcome of heart failure phenotypes. This is my final slide, and my laboratory members is Wang Su-Li. He is professor and Department of Cardiology in our hospital, and Sun Bu-yang is my PhD Korean student, and Trang Luong and the Ung Yuan and Huang is former President Huang An-Tian from Hue University, and now they two people did working in my laboratory, and most of data was generated from Ung Yuan and Huang that I presented today. Thank you for your attention, and thank you again for President Trong for inviting me this beautiful meeting in Ho Chi Minh City. Thank you again.
Yeah. Thank you.